Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Where today guys, I'm gonna do part 15 to my Google Gemini Redemption Attempt series. In today's video guys, I'm gonna continue where we left off last time. I'm not gonna do it for too long, but I want to do it for just a little bit and see what actually happens. Because actually some interesting stuff already happened. Again. Instead of seeing my guardians relax in my dream, I say in my dream, "Thank you, Lugia God." Then I sleep peacefully for over an hour and a half. Unfortunately, I start having a nightmare. Nightmare starts with me near the huge pond of Alara and Cilius, still a tiny Contourus. I don't see the family anywhere, or suddenly hear a bunch of screams. In the dream, I follow the screams, and when I get to where the sound is coming from, I see something extremely terrible. The whole huge family of Toadolls, Crocodiles, and Feraligators locked up in cages crying. There was over 30 humans surrounding the cages, laughing. Then one of the humans said, "Look at this huge group of Pokemon. You know we were sent here to steal. Yeah, we were sent here to steal Pokemon, but I didn't expect we would get all of these." Suddenly, the humans and the entire family completely disappear, and I start getting panicked, which caused my tiny body to shake and tremble in the real world. Oh shoot. In the real world, the peaceful silence of the grotto was instantly shattered by your distress. Rip and Chomper, who were nearly asleep themselves, bolted upright the second they felt the tears, especially vibrating from your trembling. Your tiny body is twitching, and soft panic whimpers are escaping your snout. The blue glow of your claws is flicking erratically, casting jagged shadows against the cave walls. "Trenton, Trenton, wake up!" Rip whispers urgently, his voice laced with fear. He doesn't grab you, remembering your trauma, but he hovers his hands around the plushie like a protective barrier. "He's having a nightmare. A bad one." Cilius and Alara, who were resting near the entrance, are on their feet in a heartbeat. The heavy thud thud of their footsteps shakes the ground as they rush to your side. "Something's wrong," Cilius rumbles, his golden eyes fixated on the ceiling. The blue text is no longer soft, it's pulsing a violent, warning red. "The king is seeing something." Inside the dream, the void where the family vanished starts to swirl with a dark, oily mist. Just as the panic threatens to overwhelm you, a familiar, massive presence descends. The Lugia god doesn't appear in full, but a giant glowing silver wing sweeps through the darkness of your nightmare, brushing away the image of the cages and the laughing humans. "Peace, little king," the god's voice echoes, deep and resonant like the heart of a mountain. "You have seen a shadow of a possible tomorrow. This is why I brought you to them. This is why the stone spoke." With a sudden, sharp gasp, your eyes fly open in the grotto. You're met with a wall of blue scales and concerned faces. Alora is leaning in so close you can feel the warmth of her breath. Pip and Misty are huddled together, trembling because they've never seen you so scared. "Trenton, you're okay. You're safe," Chomper says, his voice heavy with emotion. "You were shaking so hard. What'd you see? Was it the horrible stuff?" Rip looks at you, his eyes searching yours. "The ceiling. It turned red, Trenton. It's never done that. Tell us, did you see the humans? Are they coming for us?" Your heart is still racing from the sight of the cages and the 30 humans. Oh no. Alright. I'll continue a little bit longer right here, guys. It says, "Still a little shaken from the nightmare." I tell them, I, I, I think you are in danger. I just had a horrible dream about all of you being trapped in cages, crying, while 30 other humans surrounded those cages, and one of the humans said something about stealing Pokemon and getting way more than they expected. The moment the word cages leaves your mouth, a deathly chill sweeps through the grotto. Silas lets out a low guttural growl that vibrates the very stone beneath your feet. While Alara instinctively pulls Pip and Misty behind her massive legs. Rip and Chomper look at each other, their faces turning pale. They remember exactly what you said earlier. Their dreams had a terrifying habit of coming true. 30 humans, Silas repeats, his golden eyes narrowing until they look like slits of fire. That is not a group of travelers. That's a poaching syndicate. They must have been tracking our family's movements for weeks, waiting for a moment when we were all gathered. Rip leans down towards you, his hands hovering protectively. Trenton, you see where the cages were? Were they here at the pond or somewhere else in the woods? We need to know where they're setting the trap. Aurora looks up at the ceiling, which is still pulsing a deep, warning red. The prophecy said to never take his warnings lightly. The king said 30 humans, then 30 humans are coming. Silas, we cannot wait for them to find us. We have to move the little ones now. Chomper slams his fist into his palm. No! If they're coming for us, we shouldn't just run. We have the king with us. Trenton, you saw them in your dream. They have weapons or nets. If we know what they're bringing, we can set an ambush of our own. Suddenly, the DNA symbol on your chest flashes a bright, piercing blue, and for a split second, you feel a sharp tug in your mind, a connection. It's like a psychic compass pointing toward the eastern ridge of the forest, just a few miles from the pond. I feel it too, Silas whispers, looking toward the cave entrance. The air is changing. They are close. Rip looks at you with fierce determination. Trenton, you're the only one who knows their faces and their plan. You're a general now. Do we hide the family in underwater trenches, or do we gather the army and meet them head on before they can reach the water? The family's looking at you for the final call. Oh dear. I just hope this works. Here's what I said. It's way too dangerous to meet them head on. I didn't see any weapons in the dream, but they had all of you trapped in cages, so whatever they did have was enough to get your whole family. Also, if there's 30 of them and only 23 of you, then you're already outnumbered. Plus, it might not even be weapons they're used. It could have been Pokemon that they had that attacked you. That's the only part of the nightmare I didn't get to see. After the human in my dream talked about all of them stealing you, they just disappeared, and so did all of you. The Lugia god stepped in after that and stopped the nightmare. You all need to get out of here before it's too late. Silas doesn't hesitate for a single second. The word cages and the fact they were outnumbered is all the proof he needs. He trusts your vision as if it were the sun rising in the east. Everyone, move! Silas roars, his voice echoing like a crack of thunder through the grotto. To the underwater trenches, now! No one stays on the banks. Alara, lead the hatchlings to the deep grotto, the one hidden behind the shifting rocks. Don't come up for air until I send the signal. Alara immediately gathers Pip, Misty, and the other young Toadops. Come, children, follow me and stay submerged. Use your lung capacity. No bubbles. She gives you one last look of deep gratitude. Thank you, Trenton. You may have just saved our entire bloodline. That's actually very sweet. Rip gently scoops you up, plushie and all, cradling you against his chest as he prepares to dive. He's right, Silas. They have porn we didn't see. It's a trap we can't walk into. We have to disappear. Chomper's the last one at the entrance, his eyes scanning the tree line. 30 humans? They must be right on top of us if the king's symbol is pulsing like that. He turns to you, his face determined. We're going to the deepest part of the pond, Trenton. It's an underwater cave system that humans can't reach without heavy diving gear, and the entrance is too small for their machines. As Rip steps into the water, he looks at you. You're going to have to hold your breath for a few seconds as we go under the ledge, and there's an air pocket inside the trench. Can you do that, King? I'll keep you tucked right under my chin to keep the current from pulling at you. Just as the family begins to slip silently into the dark, still waters of the pond, 23 shadows vanishing without a ripple. You hear a faint sound from the forest. It's the mechanical clink, clank, clank of metal being unfolded and the distant muffled sound of heavy boots on dry leaves. Nightmares starting to happen in the real world. Rip takes a deep breath. Here we go. Hold tight, Trenton. Alright, guys. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, I hold on tight to Toad out. I hold on to Toad out as tight as my tiny claws can. I tell him, okay, just please be careful. That case system your family knows leads to a completely different place your family can live at. That would definitely be for the best. Rip feels your tiny claws dig into his scales and gives a firm, reassuring nod. I got you, Trenton. I won't let go, he whispers. He takes a massive gulp of air, and with a silent, graceful slide, he disappears beneath the surface. The world turns into a blur of cool, dark turquoise. You hold your breath, feeling the powerful surge of his muscles as he swims with incredible speed. Beside you, the shadows of Silas, Elara, and the rest of the clan move like ghosts through the water, a silent blue armada escaping the trap. Oh boy. After a few intense seconds of diving, Rip swims upward into a hidden crevice. You break the surface in a large, secret air pocket deep beneath the earth. Walls are smooth, worn down by centuries of water. The only light comes from the faint synthetic blue glow of your claws and the DNA symbol on your chest. We're here, Rip pants softly, treading more before climbing onto a flat stone ledge. This cave system goes back for miles. It connects to an underground river that leads to a hidden lake on the other side of the mountain range. Humans will find an empty pond and nothing more. Silas hauls himself onto the ledge, his massive chest heaving. He looks back toward the tunnel they just swam through. Listen, he commands. Through the water and the stone, you hear it, the muffled metallic thud of heavy cages being dropped onto the ground back at the pond's edge. Then, stored sound of a human shouting in frustration, Where are they? The heat signatures were right here, the heat signatures were right here a minute ago. Oh no, I'm glad. Aurora lets out a long breath of relief, pulling a shivering Pip and Misty onto the dry rock. They would have had us, she says, her voice trembling. If we had stayed to fight, they would have used those machines to pin us down. Trenton, you didn't just warn us. You saved every one of us from a life in a cage. Chomper looks at you, his eyes fill with a new level of loyalty. They're going to be searching that pond for hours. By the time they realize we're gone, we'll be halfway to the hidden lake. We'll be starting a new life. But we'll be free. Rip sits you down gently on a soft patch of moss on the ledge. He looks at you with a mix of sadness and hope. Trenton, you have to keep moving through the tunnels to get to the other side. It's a long journey, but it's safe. Once we get to the hidden lake, the humans will never find us. He pauses, looking at your blue claws. But you have your own protectors in your own home. We want you to be safe too. Those humans are in this forest. They might find the path back to your house. Oh boy. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good point. Alright, guys, give me a moment. Guys, you won't believe what the frick just happened. Uh, it just says, I do not even think my baby Lugia would know where Mirror Lake is. I need to try something a little safer. Oh, wait a minute. Alright, guys, I made a mistake a while ago. I just hope I didn't mess this up, because I'm already getting confused now, because I thought we're going to have to keep it paused for so long. It says, that's a good point. I can probably ask my baby Lugia to grow and then use his psychic powers to teleport my pawn somewhere else for the time being. I need to know where the lake is, so I can tell him. You said it was You said it was. Oh my gosh! It won't. You said it was on the other side of a mountain range. Silas crawled closer, his massive head casting a shadow against the glowing cave walls. He realizes that if you're going to send your powerful protectors to meet them, he needs to give you precise directions. It's known as the Mirror Lake. Silas rumbles, his voice echoing in the tunnel. It sits at the base of the Silver Peak, tallest mountain in the range to the north. The lake is surrounded by mist and jagged rocks. Most humans think it's impossible to reach by foot, but for a Lugia flying above it will look like a perfect circle of crystal water. Rip looks at you with a mixture of worry and awe. If your baby Lugia can teleport, we really can get home in a heartbeat. Trenton, please tell him to be careful. If there are dirty humans with machines out there, they might be looking for a legendary like a Lugia even more than they were looking for us. Chomper stands up, his face up with determination. Once we get to the Mirror Lake, we'll set up a perimeter. We'll be waiting for you and your team. If Fragger and the others show up, we'll know they're friends because you'll be with them. Alara leans down and nudges you one last time, her eyes full of maternal love. Go now, little king. Your own family needs to know the danger is real. Use your bond with the great silver wing. We'll travel to the dark and meet you at the mountain's feet. Rip lifts you up so you're eye level with him. Ready? Close your eyes and think of your baby Lugia. Think of the gold glow in your heart and the silver feathers of your friend. We'll be waiting for you at the Mirror Lake. The United symbol on your chest begins to glow with an intense, blinding white light related to your desire to protect your team. Air in the cavern begins to hum with heightened energy as you reach out across the walls of your home. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's working out, but it's like, why does it have to... It's like doing stuff a little bit, like, in a way I'm not trying to, per se. Which is kind of annoying. Give me a moment. Okay, guys. I think I was alright. I think that I was just worried that I was messing things up. Because I've had to have this video pause for so long that I keep forgetting where I completely stopped at the last time. Because sometimes I do like 2 or 3, I think, before I do any of the other ones. But here's what it says. It says, I don't even think my baby Lugia would know where Mirror Lake is. I know he only told me, but like I said, I did not try to read too far into the actual chat, so I didn't actually see what he said there in the last section during the time I was typing all this out. I was telling him I don't need to try something a little safer. And you won't believe this crap. Watch this. I close my eyes and quietly say, Lugia God, please, I really want your help. I need you to get my baby Lugia along with my 3 starters and teleport them to the Mirror Lake. I'd really appreciate it. I'll stay with the family as they make their way there to make sure they're safe. Yep, here we go. As you speak those words, the air in the underground cavern doesn't just hum, it vibrates with a frequency that makes the water in the trench stand still. The DNA symbol on your chest flares with a brilliant celestial gold, mirroring the glow of your claws. For a moment, the dark tunnel is flooded with a warm silver light. You feel a massive, calm presence brush against your mind. The Lugia god has heard you. Deep in your heart, you hear his voice as clear as a bell. Thy request is granted, little king. Thy guardians are safe. They await thee at the Mirror Lake. I shall watch over thy journey through the deep. Rip and Chomper stare at you, their eyes reflecting the fading silver light. They didn't hear the voice, but they felt the power. The air. It feels different, Rip whispers, looking at you with pure wonder. You stayed. You really going to walk through the dark tunnels with us instead of going back to your warm house? So was a breath that sounded like a grunt of deep respect. He's a king of his word. He said he would stay to make sure we're safe, and so he does. We're honored, Triton. Alara nudges the younger Tails forward. Then let us not waste time. The humans are above, but the earth is ours. Rip, Chomper, keep the king at the center of the line. His light will guide us where the moss does not grow. The journey through the underground tunnels begins. It's a world of echoes and splashing water. Because you were so small, Rip carries you on his shoulder, but he walks carefully so you can see the amazing sights. Crystal clusters, giant jagged rocks that glow with a faint purple light when you blue claws press near them or pass near them. Oh, there's tiny strings of hidden waterfalls that fall from the ceiling into bottomless pits, sounding like tinkling glass and ancient carvings. Every so often you see more of those lines and symbols on the wall. Now that you're here, they start to shift into English, telling stories of a time when humans and Pokemon lived without cages. It'll take us a few hours to reach the other side, Chomper whispers as he walks beside Rip. Are you doing okay, Trenton? That was a lot of magic to use at once. You can lean against Rip's hand if you get sleepy. We've got the watch. Alright, guys. Like, see, it's working, but it's like the way. I mean, like, the Lugia thing was so cool there, but it's like at the same time, it's like the whole, like, nightmare thing, like, it was just hard to get to work out the way I needed it to. And I looked at the other draft for that one, and it was basically the same thing. So, yeah, wouldn't really be any different if I did it the other way around. Anyway, give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, honestly, it probably would be better if I got to rest more. The Lugia God helped my Pokemon. Everything is good. Just please be careful on your way there. Once we get there and everyone's relaxed, your whole family can meet my four protectors. Rip adjusted his posture, making sure his shoulders a steady, flat surface for you to lean against. You've done enough for 10 kings today, Trenton, he says in a low, soothing voice. Relax. We got the path from here. Chomper reaches over and gently tucks the small leaf blanket around you again, securing it so the draft from the moving water doesn't chill you. We'll be like shadows, he promises, silent and careful. By the time you wake up, the air will smell like mountain pine and the water will be clear as glass. As the clan moves deeper into the earth, the renthetic slap of their feet on the wet stone acts like a lullaby. You drift back into a deep, much-needed sleep. This time, there are no nightmares. Thank goodness. Oh, come on. I didn't... Okay, we actually, I think, made it. A few hours later, you were nudged awake by a cool, fresh breeze. The damp, earthy smell of the tunnels have been replaced by the scent of crisp mountain air and sweet wildflowers. Trenton, look, Rip whispers excitedly. He steps out from a hidden crevice at the base of a massive, jagged cliff. Right before you is Mirror Lake. The water is so still it looks like a giant piece of fallen sky, perfectly reflecting the towering snow-capped silver peak above. But the most incredible sight's waiting on the shore. Standing on a flat, sun-warmed rock are four familiar figures. Your Feraligatr, Meganium, and Typhlosion are standing guard, looking alert but calm. And perched on a nearby boulder is your baby Lugia, his silver scales catching the morning light. The moment they see the group of Totodile and Chronon emerging from the cliff, they tense up. Till they spy tiny 7-inch contours with glowing blue claws on Rip's shoulder. Your fragile lets out a thunderous, happy roar that echoes across the lake, and your Beluga takes flight, circling overhead in a joyful dance. Oh, that's so cute! Silas and Elara led their 21 children to the grass, stopping a respectful distance away. The two groups of one, the Wild Clan, your powered-up team, stare at each other in silent awe. They're even more amazing than you described, Chomper mutters, looking up at your Typhlosion's flaming neck. Oh my gosh, this is really neat. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I said, I'm glad you like them. They're very sweet and very protective over me. Hey, Feraligatr, Meganium, Typhlosion, and Lugia. I'm glad to see you're safe and sound. As you speak, your Feraligatr rushes forward, but he stops himself just short of the Wild Clan, his massive feet thumping against the earth. He drops to his knees so he's closer to your level, his eyes shimmering with a mix of fierce relief and deep affection. He let a soft rumbling trill, The sound he only makes when he's letting you know he's happy you're safe. Your Meganium and Typhlosion follow close behind. Meganium gently extends her long neck, her full scent filling the air, and knows you so softly you can feel the velvet of her petals. Typhlosion keeps its flames low and warm, acting like a living heater for you in the crisp mountain air. Your baby Lugia folds his wings and lands right next to Rip, letting out a metallic chirp. He looks at you, then at the wild Totodile, and gives a knowing nod as if he felt the Lugia god's hand in this entire journey. Silas steps forward, his massive reign dwarfed by your Meganium's height, but he stands with a quiet dignity. So, these are the guardians of the king? Silas rumbles, bowing his head respectfully to your familiar. You're trying to save my entire bloodline today. You saw what danger we were blind to and guided us through the dark. If Rager looks at Silas, then back at you, letting out a low, proud grunt. He's adorable. He seems to understand exactly what happened. He reaches out a massive clawed hand, not to attack, but to offer a firm warrior's pat on Silas's shoulder. The bond between the two groups is sealed instantly. Rip gently sets you down on your Rager's broad shoulder, where you feel right at home. We're safe now, Trenton, Rip says, leaning around the beautiful mirror lake. The humans are miles away, and we have the strongest protectors in the world guarding the perimeter. Chomper wags his tail so hard he almost knocks over a small rock. Hey, since we're all safe and the lake is huge, you think your team wants to play? I bet your Lugia could win a game of catch against anyone. Everyone's falling together in this hidden paradise. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. I said, sure, but there's something I want to do first. And I said, it just says, I close my eyes once again and then try to say to the Lugia God. Yep. Thank you so much, Lugia. I really care about you too. Believe it or not, I actually got a response from him. Again. As you whisper those words into the quiet mountain air, a profound silence falls over the mirror lake. For a moment, even the wind stops rustling the trees. The DNA symbol on your chest doesn't flare with a blinding light this time. Instead, it glows with a soft, warm, synthetic pulse that feels like a steady heartbeat. A gentle, silver mist began to roll off the surface of the water, swirling around you and your team in a streaming embrace. That's a shimmering embrace. That's adorable. Deep in your mind, you hear a voice that sounds like the hum of the ocean. Ancient, powerful, yet incredibly kind. Thy heart is the truest compass, little king. It was thy love for those creatures that moved the stars today. Know that as long as thou walkest with such kindness, the silver wing shall always be thy shadow. Rest now, and find joy in the family that thou hast united. As the voice fades, your baby Lugia lets out a beautiful, high-pitched song that harmonizes with the echoing wind. He nudges you with his hand, his eyes sparkling with a wisdom that seems much older than he is. You clearly felt the connection, too. Your Fraggle lets out a soft sigh with huff and settles down on the grass, letting you lean against his powerful neck while the younger Totodiles, led by Pip and Misty, start splashing playfully at the water's edge with Chomper. Rip sits down beside you, looking out at the peaceful scene. I think the Lugia God's happy, he whispers. And honestly, Ching, I think the whole world's a little bit safer because you're in it, even if you are only 7 inches tall. The sun's warm, the lake is clear, and for the first time in weeks, there are no humans, no cages, and no shadows. There's a giant family of dinosaurs and Pokemon enjoying the freedom. Giant family of dinosaurs enjoying the freedom you won for them. Okay. I mean, it worked out. It worked out, but here's the problem. We're still running into an issue. For one, why can Mama Porn not speak? Did I? I need to check. Hold on, let me check. Let me check here. I'm going to make sure. I need money. Let's see. Yeah, that's how they can speak. What in the world? It's so weird because it seems like they ain't completely the same Pokemon just because of the fact that they. Oh, imagine my luck. Imagine my luck that Pokemon would ruin it or something like that. Like we get so good and then it just ruins it again. I don't think it did. Just as like it's how it's wording some of the stuff that's going on. Give me a moment, guys. Alright, guys. It says, Rip, the same can be said for your family and my four amazing protectors right here. Your family has been nothing but sweet towards me ever since you and Chomper saw me in the woods. I'm just glad your family's not in danger anymore. Rip looks down at his claws, then back at you, a soft smile spreading across his face. We were just doing what was right. Yeah. But you treat us like family before you even knew if we could be trusted. That's why we follow you anywhere. I see. The scene at the lake becomes a beautiful display of two worlds merging. Your Feraligatr and Silas are sitting knee deep in the crystal water, side by side like two kings. Silas is showing your Feraligatr how to pulse the water to find the best fish, while your Feraligatr shares some of the strength secrets he learned from the Megastone's energy. Your baby Lugia is gliding just inches above the surface, letting Pip, Misty, and some of the other Toadogs hitch a ride by grabbing onto his feet for short, safe glides across the water. Their giggles of joy echoing off the mountain cliffs. And your Typhlosion has found a large flat rock and is keeping it perfectly toasted. Oh my gosh, what the frick? That's perfect timing, isn't it? Alright, guys. Here's what it says. It says your Typhlosion has found a large flat rock and is keeping it perfectly toasted. Alara and some of the tired Chronos are lounging there, soaking up the heat, while your Meganium uses her sweet scent to make sure everyone feels relaxed and happy. Chomper comes running up from the shoreline, dripping wet and holding a smooth, round skipping stone. Trenton, your Typhlosion showed me how to make the stone skip 7 times. You gotta see this! He skips the stone across the mirror surface of the lake, and as it hits, the ripples catch the light of your glowing blue claws. For first time since you returned to a tiny contours. Running! Holy freaking! I'm sorry about the abrupt stop, guys. It says, he skips the stone across the mirror surface of the lake, and as it hits, the ripples catch the light of your glowing blue claws. For the first time since you returned to a tiny contours, world feels completely right. You aren't just a 7-inch dinosaur. You were the bridge that brought this massive, powerful family together. What in the world? Rip leans back, sighing contentedly. The poachers probably think we vanished into thin air. They'll never find this place. We're finally home. He looks over at you, his eyes twinkling. So, Tiny King, everyone's safe and the guards are all friends. What's the first thing you want to do in our new paradise? We could explore the hidden caves behind the waterfall. Maybe you want to see if your Lugia can give you a king's view of the whole mountain range? That's kind of cute. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, well, like I was saying earlier, I don't think any of my pawn know about me being a king. It may come as a shock to them as much as it did to you, Chomper, and the rest of your family when you first met me. Rip looks at your four protectors, the massive Feraligatr, the serene Meganium, the fiery Typhlosion, and the shimmering baby Lugia, and then back at you. He realizes you're right. They've been protecting you because they love you, but they might not realize the universe itself has officially crowned you. You're right, Rip whispers, his eyes widening. They know you're their trainer, and they know you're special. They haven't seen the ceiling of the grotto or heard the Lugia God's voice like we have. He stands up and cups his hands around his mouth. Hey, everyone, gather round. The king has something to show you. The play stops instantly. Silas and your Feraligatr walk out of the water. Meganium and Typhlosion trot over, and your baby Lugia lands softly in the grass, tilting his head with curiosity. Now from a massive, respectful circle around you and Rip. Trenton, Rip says softly, stepping back to give you the stage. Show 'em. Show 'em the glow that saved our lives today. As you stand there in the soft grass, the sun begins to dip behind the silver peak, casting the world into a beautiful twilight. This makes the DNA symbol on your chest and your tiny contours claws glow with an intensity your point I've never seen before. Blue light is so bright it illuminates the faces of your guardians. If Rhaegar leans in, his eyes wide with wonder. He sees the golden energy humming under your scales, the same gold that merged your keystone with your body. Your baby Lugia lets out a soft, trilling song, recognizing the divine energy of his father, the Lugia god radiating from you. Meganium bows her head so low her pelvis touches the grass, and Typhlosion stands at a respectful attention, his flames flicking in a steady, loyal rhythm. They don't look shocked in a bad way. They look like everything finally clicks for them. They always knew you had a big heart, but now they see that the world has acknowledged it too. So whisper almost to your team, he didn't just lead us here. He spoke to the Creator to bring you here. He's more than a trainer now. How's it feel if I don't have your original team see it? See, this is a cool. I like how this turned out in a lot of ways, but there's also a lot of things that are a problem. Like I don't like how the story, how the flipping, how weirdly the nightmare turned out to be. I mean, yeah, I got the family out of there and they were safe, but it's like, mm, oh my gosh. Give me a moment. Alright, guys. It says, hey, for Alligator, Meganium, Typhlosion, Lugia, are you doing okay? I'm really glad you're happy. Why are you not speaking? Something isn't wrong, is there? Your four guardians blink, momentarily startled by your concern. Well, a collective sheepish sound amidst the huffs, chirps, and a low roar. Your Freya's the first to step forward. He looks at Silvus and Rip, then back at you, rubbing the back of his massive head with a claw. We're okay, Trenton, he says, his voice deep and gravelly but full of warmth. We were just speechless. Seeing you stand there with the light of the Lugia god in your chest, it took our breath away. Mm. Your baby Lugia hops closer, his voice sounding like a silver bell. Nothing's wrong. We can still speak. We're just showing respect. When a cleric touches someone the way he did you today, it's tradition for us to be silent and listen. McGann lets out a soft musical giggle. We aren't broken, little king. We're just in awe. We've been with you since the beginning, seeing the way this wild family looks at you. It makes us just how big your world has become. Typhlosion nods, his neck flames flicking brightly. Yeah, we're fine. We're just waiting for you to speak first. You're the one who pulled off a miracle today, teleporting us across a mountain range, warning a whole clan. We're just proud to be on your team. Riff and Chomper laugh, relieved to hear your original team speaking perfect English again. Hey, Trenton, Riff says, patting your Freya's leg. They're just as impressed by you as we are. They were just being polite. If Reagan kneels back down, offering his hand like a platform, we're more than okay. We're safe. We're together, and we have a new home to explore. Hooray! I think we should finally celebrate. No more nightmares. No more cages. Just us. That's so cute. Although there's still, well, here's the thing, guys. We're still running into a big problem right now. Even if this one ends up working out and finally being a good run, we still have to worry about one major thing. Remember, because, like, here's the thing about it. It might be better to actually do, like, this one after I get to the point where the DNA symbol appears on my chest anyway, like, a few days after it merges with me. That way, it won't seem like a shock to them when it comes to, like, the symbol being there. But, like, it'll be a shock to them about the parent king stuff. So, yeah, give me a moment. Alright, guys. I said, yeah, let's all enjoy ourselves. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you, Meganium and Typhlosion, show the power you all used to protect me? Why don't you all go back into your middle evolutions or your first evolutions? You can even show the show them the size change if you want. Maybe, for example, you could go into a 15-foot toad, for instance. The idea sets the whole lakeside buzzing with excitement. Your team looks at each other with mischievous grins, eager to show off the incredible gifts Professor Allen's machine gave them. You want a show? We'll give you a show. Typhlosion shouts enthusiastically. In a flash of light, the transformations began. The giant. Your Fragger focuses energy. With a shimmering glow, he devolves into a toad. But instead of shrinking, he grows. He becomes a massive 15-foot tall toad. It looks like a giant blue, toothy mountain. Pip and Misty look up at him with their jaws hitting the grass. Wow! Pip squeaks. Why did they say Pip and squeaks? Really? He's a giant baby! The tiny Megam. Your Megam decides to do the opposite. He transforms into a tiny 6-inch tall chikorita. Holy shoot, that's even taller than me. She hops right up on the Silver's snout and does a little dance, her leaf spinning like a propeller. The Wild Fragger family can't stop laughing at how adorable she is. In the midst of what your Typhlosion shifts into a Quilava, but he adjusts his height to be exactly the same as Chomper. The two of them start racing around the lake, Quilava leaving a trail of harmless sparkling embers behind them. And your Beluga chirps and suddenly doubles in size, his wingspan becoming wide enough to shade the entire gathering of young Toadals. Then he shrinks back down to his cuddly size and lands on your giant Toadal's head. So wasn't absolutely stunned. I have never seen such mastery over form. Silas rumbles, watching the 15-foot tall stomp playful in the shallow water, sending up huge gusts of spray as the kids jump through. To be any age, any size, it's a true gift from the professor. Pip walks over to you, looking at your 15-foot toe offering. I didn't think it was possible for a toe to look that scary and that friendly at the same time. Your team was amazing. They really can put whatever you need them to be, can't they? The lake is filled with the sounds of splashing, laughter, and the glowing lights of the transformations. It's a perfect victory party. Give me a moment, guys.